According to the studies in Poverty and Inequality Institute, more than half of South Africans live in poverty and about a quarter experience starvation. The socio-economic challenges were exacerbated by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic that saw the unemployment rate at 34.5% in the first quarter of this year. The institute says the 350 Rand grant introduced during the pandemic helped pull many out of poverty. It says the policy conference should look at ways to distribute income in society, for money to circulate and to support economic growth.
ANC Policy Conference really needs to turn around its attention and to say, if we're going to be growing our economy, if we're going to be developing our productive capacity, if we're going to be looking at fourth industrial revolution and how that impacts, if we're going to be looking at the gender-based violence crisis and pandemic that we have, if we're going to be looking at growing better regional integration, how do we address the poverty that is affecting everything and start developing from that? And if we don't do that, we'll always be literally putting out fires. So I think one of the main areas that we need to be looking at is recognizing that we're not going to be creating jobs for everybody.
Others say the answer to South Africa's many socio-economic challenges is stronger economic growth, and the key is to allow the private sector to help stimulate and keep the economy going.
We need to focus on priorities. The first priority is to forget about state-owned enterprises that are no longer economically viable, like getting rid of SAA, getting rid of the NEL, getting rid of Alexcorp. As I've said, electricity generation is very important. And then lastly, rethink the regulatory burden on the South African economy. Make it easier for South Africans to do business and impose less burdens on business and the private sector rather than more burdens to get the economy growing again. But we really desperately need jobs for South Africans to get rid of unemployment.
The ANC holds its policy conference in Johannesburg later this week. Gloria Sefako Mosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.